Poti and her husband.
Don't bust.
Before I answer that question, I would like to start with certain premises. One, I'm just here on behalf of myself and the other two women in the Senate. Two, I'm also here as the Senate chairperson for Women Affairs. The other premise is that since there are only 4 women, we've all 4 of us been particularly close. Senator Natasha and I have been also even closer because I take her as my daughter, as I'm old enough to be her mother, and I guide her since, in truth, the Senate is predicated on ranking, and we were there a whole 6 months before her. So I'm able to tell her how things are done. Look at this, go here, check that out. So that, and then the day in question, I was not in the Senate.
What do you have to say?
I was in NMPC hospital. When I came out of the hospispital, my driver said to me, "Madam, there's Wahala in the Senate." I said, "What about?" He didn't tell me, he just said Senator Natasha. As soon as I heard her name, as I always do with everything that concerns her, I promptly called her. I said, "Natasha, what's going on?" He said, he started to try to explain about seating. She had not given me the proper explanation. I had not been given the opportunity to respond when she said to me, "I'll call you back, I'll call you back." Till today, Senator Natasha has not called me back. I have a smartphone. Before I called Senator Natasha's husband, I had called Senator Natasha twice without response. Then I called him to say, "I've called her twice, she's not answering me." He said, "Oh, she went to Singapore. Maybe that's why." And then I said to him, "This is not the way this should be handled." Now, let's go on to other things. The reason we've heard it said everywhere that the 3 women in the Senate have been silent. Yes, because silence is golden, especially when one of us is not following the rules. And as women, we did not want to come out publicly to say anything negative about her. And we were hoping all of this will blow over, as a lot of things do. Now, the truth of the matter is, yes, the Senate is not gender friendly, but it has been improving much better than when we first entered the Senate, I must say. And the truth of the matter is, when we make a fuss and we draw the attention of the Senate President, he does correct it. Truly, the Senate can do better than it's doing, but there's hardly anything that's been done to us that's not done to other men. It is more appropriate to say that the Senate is not opposition friendly. Now, the Senate leadership may not be gender friendly, but I must say the majority of the senators, they are very kind and they are conciliatory to us. They look out for the fact that women, some of them have been there before. They guide us on, do it like this, do it that way. And slowly, even I can say without anybody repudiating that fact, that I am the singular senator that fights the Senate President the most. But I have learned to do it. If it arises on plenary, I deal with it there, especially when it's on issues to do with my constituency. When it's on other issues of privileges, I go and meet him when all the senators are in the dining room, and I fight with him there and get the support of other senators. Senate is a place where the majority takes the day. So then also I want to say something. Us women in the Senate, in fact, to be honest, Senator Natasha has gotten the most privilege of all the 4 of us. The seat I'm sitting in now have been moved 4 times. Senator Ipalibo Banigo has been moved at least twice.
All right. Senator Ireti.
No, please let me finish. I brought myself here. Then you can ask me.
Yes, but we also have a few minutes with you. So can you just make it brief, because we do have follow-up questions.
It's all right.
All right.
I will make it brief. I wanted to say that this is about the rules of the Senate. So if I can point out that other women have been moved several times. On that day, I wasn't there, but I gather that several men were also moved. And I'm only here as chairperson of Women Affairs. I want women to know we have to follow the rules of the institution we choose to enter. And that is mostly the point of this visit here. Whether there's sexual harassment between them, they already had personal relationships before they came to the Senate.
All right.
The 3 of us had no relationship with Senator Akpabio before we came.
All right, Senator.
So I'm ready for your questions now.
Yes.
And the question you asked me, I don't have enough of a relationship with Senator Akpabio to discuss sexual harassment with Senator Akpabio. When I go to the Senate and my neighbors or Senator Natasha is not there, I collect documents on their behalf. I collected some from Senator Natasha, informed her. She said she was home. I went to her house. I'm answering the question. I got there. She told me, after offering a meal, that she's supposed to discuss something with him, and he said to meet her in some hotel. I said to her, you only meet
Senator, I'm sorry, I have to come in at this point. We have limited time with you. Pardon me, I have tried.
You asked me a question.
My colleague asked you a question.
So if you just want a yes or no, I'll tell you no. I did not. I was trying to tell you what transpired. And as we were discussing, her husband came in. That's all I'm trying to tell you.
Okay.
So that I could not have said so. I don't know.
All right, that's noted.
That's all I'm asking. You asked me a question, madam.
My colleague asked you the question. Thank you for getting to it eventually. Now,
I cannot see any of you, so pardon me.
It's okay. We're fine. We're just having a conversation here. You've made it clear the parts that you're aware of and what you're also unaware of. But some statements that you made, you did say that the Senate is not gender friendly, but it's been improving, and what is done to women is also done to men. That doesn't sound like it makes this experience okay. It also sounds a bit, to an extent, like you're minimizing Senator Natasha's experience, since you're saying that what she might have experienced is not